Those mistakes now could be costly later to you and your family. Call 800-801-3030. That's 800-801-3030. Employees of J.D. Mellberg Financial have the appropriate licenses for the products they offer.
Happy Friday and welcome to another great version of Younger Life live on YouTube.com, also on YoungerLife.org, WIMS AM 1420, and WIMSradio.com. Happy Friday, Mary Anthony.
I know, happy Friday. It's a gorgeous morning.
Oh, it is.
I mean, a little dreary, but a beautiful morning. I loved it. Windows down, it's a gorgeous morning. Really.
I feel good. I'm so super excited about the guest that you've lined up for today. And I have to tell you, I'm just being straight out honest. I don't know what you did to your hair. It looks perfect.
Oh, thanks.
And
Windblown.
It's windblown. Okay. And a little birdie told me as you were bonding with Eve. Eve, how are you today? Good or what?
Thanks. Great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Very good.
And you two ladies were corresponding and bonding back and forth on stuff that a little birdie told me that you got in the truck today.
Yeah.
And it was on what? I'm sorry. What?
It was on E.
Okay.
And so I got in the truck. It was just one of those mornings. It's Friday, but it felt like a Monday at our house. I let the kids sleep in a little bit, and my oldest isn't home. But so I hesitated to leave the kids at home.
Sure.
But my 13-year-old is home, and I thought, oh, it's an hour. They'll be fine. By the time I get back home, it's a couple hours. And I said, hey, guys, I'm going to leave. And they said, can we go swimming at Nan and Papa's house, my parents? And I said, well, it's kind of dreary out. And they said, yeah, it doesn't matter. We can just hang out over there. And I thought, well, that's nicer just because there's a little handful of my niece and nephew too. And thought, okay, so you guys have like 20 minutes to get up and take care of your bathroom business. And we're out the door. So then we leave and rush out. And then my truck was on like E. So,
was it the light on at this point?
No, thank goodness. I'm too afraid because I'm going to tell you, our truck, before you actually get on E, the light will come on. But if you get to the light, my husband found one time that the light came on and it died.
Oh.
Him and my boys were stranded once.
You don't
so I'm paranoid of that. So I get in, and if I see it's anywhere like at the quarter mark or under, I panic even before the light comes on. So I thought, I'm quite a ways, and I thought, I don't want to get stranded. So instead I said, we're going to get gas and then going to Nan and Papa's. I'm booting you out the door. Just jump out. And I'm telling my dad, thanks, Dad. I'm like waving and yelling.
I love you. Later.
I'll see you later. So that's what we did. And then I got stuck by 2 trains, and I thought, it's Friday, not Monday. Why? But, it was all good. I made it.
And you realized when you walked in the door, you went,
Catch my
I'm
breath.
here.
That's
Take
it.
a breath.
It's good,
You saw Eve. You
I
waved.
wouldn't know what to do with a boring morning. I mean, you know how it is, Eve, especially when you have little ones. It's like, well, you wouldn't know what to do with a quiet morning,
No,
Yeah.
no idea whatsoever. None. Yes.
Yeah.
I was really excited. I brushed my hair before I
You are awesome.
See, that's so nice. I know that's a feat all in itself. I understand totally.
It was a good morning just for that reason.
I'll tell you, folks, best smiles up on YouTube.com, YoungerLife.org, and we so appreciate it. So I'm excited. So you guys kind of coordinated. Eve, tell us who you are, please, and then a little bit about yourself, if you wouldn't mind.
Sure. Okay. Well, my name is Eve Kaiser. I live in Chesterton, and I've lived there for about 15 years, and I own a store that's called Loaf. which stands for Local, Organic, Affordable Foods. I've been running it, and we just had our 2-year anniversary on July 11th.
Oh, really?
So that was
Aw.
so that was lovely, and we really focus on a couple different things. Local, obviously, being one of them, and foods clearly, but we also work with a lot of other local businesses that produce, household items and general store items and stuff like that. So it's not just a food store. So that's
what I
we're
think
doing.
is so fascinating. That's what I was going to ask you about the products. So it isn't just food. It's also, again, by the way, all local businesses and growers and people. And I just think that's really such a cool idea.
Thanks.
So what other products are there? You said household items.
Yeah. We, it's interesting. Like I would say at least once a month, someone finds me or I find someone, one way or the other, who does something. And 9 times out of 10, what's interesting also is that they're females. So I have a lot of women-owned and women-run businesses in my store too. So I have everything from different kinds of ceramics that one woman makes, hoping to get another ceramics really like a utilitarian kind of a line in soon. And then we have woven pot holders and pots and things like that this woman makes completely by hand, which is amazing. Different kinds of kids clothes. We work with a company called Everyday Upcycle, who all women owned, and they specialize in little kids things and tie-dyed items.
Nice.
And teething necklaces, which everybody is really into right now with
Yeah, I
little
know.
babies. We have
Wait, hold on.
No,
Teething
listen,
necklaces.
honestly, I'm going to
because-
tell you what's really funny. You can tell my kids, it's been a while since I've had
Sure,
babies.
sure.
I saw a friend of mine at a ball game, and their baby had on a necklace. And I was thinking, do you not know how dangerous that is? I mean, what are you doing? I didn't say that, of course.
You
I
were
just kept
thinking.
and then I realized it was a teething necklace. And I
So
thought,
what
that's
does
such
it-
a fascinating
what does that
idea.
Look like? What does that look like?
So the ones that the little kids wear are, I don't have any of those in my store right now. They're usually made of amber, and a lot of people will say there's, of course, that's, a lot of people in Europe said it first, and then they're sort of adopting it here in American children. That when amber is warm against the body, it releases some sort of a pain relieving thing that's supposed to help with teething pain.
Oh.
Now, I mean, I've had them I did not have it for my 15-year-old daughter.
Yeah.
Yes, that was like, are you kidding me?
I know, you put it in your face. Danger. Jeez. Yeah,
I know,
you're
right?
right,
Oh my
you're
gosh.
right.
And my mom's a nurse, so she would have totally been like, never.
Yeah, that's it.
But I got one as a gift for both of my little kids. And so I was
Oh.
like, okay, well, what the heck? I'll
Yeah.
try. Personally, I can't say that they are better, that it makes teething better or worse. I really can't.
Teething is rough, period.
You
It
have me.
depends on the teeth.
It does look darling, though.
They're
Like,
very
they
Can
look cute.
You have
on
me
the-
very curious here. You say 15-year-old. You look very, very young. And it's probably your lifestyle, and we're all about staying younger longer.
Bless your heart.
So you say 15-year-old, then you say my little kids. May I ask, if it's a personal question, and I'm just going to throw it out there, how many children do you have?
3.
Okay.
Three girls. And so 15, she'll be 15 in October, a little girl who just turned 3, and then I have a baby who'll be 2 on Christmas Eve.
I saw her babies too, and they are so cute. Such
How
pretty little girls.
awesome.
So
They're
sweet
lovely.
too. Smile so
Thank
much.
you.
You know what I mean?
At that minute, yes.
You two ladies kind of have something in common, when it
Yep.
comes to
Oh, yeah,
your
they-
age ranges. Mine are 18 and 22.
Oh, see,
Yep.
yeah. So you had them together. Well, and once we had the little 2 together just for that reason. For
Yeah.
sure.
Ours
For sure.
kind of came in little
Awesome.
spurts, I guess. Our daughter, then 2 more daughters, then a gap, then our 2 boys.
Right?
That's awesome.
That's just how it goes.
That's how it
you
goes.
know?
That's right. It's
That's
life.
exactly right.
It's how it goes. It's
That's
fun.
exactly
Yeah.
right.
It's neat to
so-
see the mom's perspective and the lady's perspective, because quite honestly, in my life, if it wasn't for my wife and my mother-in-law, we have great family,
Yeah.
all the other moms and grandmoms and everybody and aunts and uncles. But I mean, the moms like you guys are like so into. I could see some of the cool things in this technology stuff. That's what I would say. Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
because
Oh, I
I
know.
see things today. I'm like, oh, I really wish that stuff was around.
Oh,
when
yeah.
we had
It
children.
changes
you know?
so quickly.
Yeah.
It
It
changes
does.
so quickly. Just in the few years since my little one's getting ready to turn 5 this
Yeah,
fall.
that's not even that long.
It's
and still.
incredible. I see these things and I think, what? That was nowhere to be found. You know what I mean?
Oh,
It's,
yeah.
Sure.
not necessarily toys. It seems like every version of toys, I say, oh, we've had one of somewhat like
Yes.
that.
Of that,
you know?
yes,
Oh, yeah.
yes, exactly.
At least one is somewhere. But it's just the other gadgets and equipment stuff that I think, oh, how cool, how fun. You know?
Absolutely. I was
It
just
is
at
good.
I was just at a store looking nothing like that. But walking past all kinds of strollers, of course, I have
Oh,
no
yeah.
need for.
Oh, yes.
They're all like little like spaceships now.
Oh,
They're
yes.
like
I know,
little pods.
I know.
I've never seen anything like it. So
It's
very
so cool.
And can I throw this out there? Those pod spaceships, I remember, and this really dates me at 49 years old, but when we had daughters, $100 or whatever would be a lot.
Oh,
These little
geez.
spaceships are $300-$400.
my
My
gosh.
nieces
Oh,
both have
minimum.
babies. We were just,
Yeah.
and they're just crazy. But what you could do with them, I would say,
It's
okay, it's
cool.
well worth it.
They do neat stuff. They
It's
really
cool.
do.
It's an investment. It's like buying
Yes.
stocks.
It's hard though because when they, you only use them for so long.
Well, and they're
You're
so
right.
rough on stuff. I with my daughters, I never bought a double stroller or anything. Even though my second two daughters are just under 2 years apart, and so are my boys. But I waited, and then with the boys, I said, I don't care. I'm getting the stroller that I want. We're done, and I want to use the one I want.
That's right.
And they trash it though. I mean, we
yeah.
used it for years, and it was nice because even when the older one would be 3 or 4, and we would be somewhere and take it, he could hop on in.
Right.
But. I
Do you still have it?
No, I got rid of that.
Well, you
was
know what I see
glad
a lot of
to get
people
rid
doing
that.
these days that have children that are now no longer using
Mm-hmm.
them. They almost use them as baby wagons, or you see them
Oh,
down
yeah.
at the beach where
Oh,
they don't
yeah.
have any kids, and I'm like, oh, you have, you start
Yes,
talking.
you
You have a
think-
baby? Oh no, we use this for a wagon or
We
like.
throw all of our stuff for the beach on it.
Right.
We
Oh, like
certainly
towels.
miss the stroller for that
Yes.
reason. I just
Heck
noticed
yeah.
specifically when we were in Florida last time we went, we had strollers.
Yes.
And this time, it's been years, and I said, it's so nice we don't have strollers or diaper bags. And then I thought, that means we don't have wheels to push. I mean, we're toting it. You know what I mean?
Especially
That
that
was
that
different.
under thing.
I know.
You know,
man.
that's deep.
There
Yeah.
were times where those might have been like dragging on the ground.
I know,
Yes.
absolutely. That's
know
funny.
that very well.
I love
Yeah.
the idea that you said with your store, you either find someone new or someone finds you. If we do have a supplier out there of maker of anything locally,
Mm-hmm.
and they're interested in getting in touch with you, are they able to do that?
Heck yeah. They can get my I have a really active Facebook page. It's
okay.
Loaf Chesterton on Facebook. And message me there. I'm really responsive to getting back to people in terms of that. Come in and bring me a sample of the product. Really, I'm there every afternoon. Usually in the morning I'm running around or I've got kid things to do, but by 2-3 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm in store till the end of the day. You can call the store and find out a good time to meet with me. It's 219-628-6106. And we're at 401 North Calumet Road in Chesterton. So
Ooh, that's a cool little area.
it's a nice
It is,
location.
and
That's a
nice
great
spot.
area.
It's nice because we have a parking lot too, so you're not dealing with downtown parking.
Sure.
We have a little space
Yeah.
you can park right in front of the store, so it's
Nice,
very convenient.
Now you have talked about the collaboration with a number of the ladies and different things. Is it mostly female-owned businesses in the area that you collaborate with, and then someone may throw out that's one question. Then the products coming from different folks as well. So that just kind of want to expand on that a little bit. if you don't
Well,
mind.
we have like in the back of my store, like the general store part of the store, which is really not food focused. That actually most of those businesses are female owned, and it's mostly coincidental.
Yeah.
But really, between like body products and soap making, we have a woman who has a really outstanding line of pet toys that are all organic and all handmade.
awesome.
And it's called Perfect Play, like purr, like a kitty purr.
Sure.
And I mean, amazing products. So then, like I said, everyday upcycle. We have three different body products lines. One is based in LaPorte called Dark Horse Inspirations. That's completely, she rose the flowers that she makes
Wow.
into
Oh,
infusions.
my
Completely hands-on. She does these felted, how sometimes you can buy like a soap that has loofah or scrubby
Yeah.
kind of built into it.
Sure.
She does one that she takes fur from alpaca that
Mm-hmm.
is grown over in LaPorte. The alpacas live there. She gets their fur. She makes it into like strings and then felts it and then wraps the soap that she makes by
That
hand.
is insane.
And makes like this alternative to like a loofah soap.
Wow.
Amazing stuff.
I wonder how in the world,
it's-
one, she came up with that, and two, I wonder how long it must take to produce
And
a
to-
bar soap.
It does, something like that. Like, and I've learned like another woman that we work with who also is in Whole Foods. She's any small store around here basically that has local items. You'll find her body care products. Her name is Birgit. Her line is Simply Birgit. she does some soap making classes and has done a few at our store. We like to
Oh,
do
neat.
classes. And so I've learned a little bit about soap making. And so the kind of soap that she makes and the kind of soap that Dark Horse Inspirations makes is like it's a hard cold milled soap. So
Yeah.
you end up having to let it sit for like 8 weeks before you
Oh,
can use
oh
it.
my
So it's a
goodness.
real process. And you kind of have to know because of the way you make the soap, it has a chemical reaction up until that last time. And it's not really as effective or nice to use before then.
Can
Wow.
I throw you on the spot when we're talking soap? Because
Yeah.
from a guy perspective, I just want to ask this because I'm always worried about my face and about my skin, and so I want to keep it as young as I can.
Yeah, absolutely.
And obviously,
Everybody
as
does.
you see little lines growing and different things happening to your face. But can you recommend? And I don't mean to throw you on the spot, but from the perspective, I don't like. There are soaps out there that for your face in your body. So one and two. But for your face, sometimes I don't like it when it's dry. I kind of like it when you feel smooth. Like I'm gonna throw out a product name, and I'm not endorsing that. I'm just telling you what I like.
yeah.
I love Pond's cream. I'll put it on my face, and men or women, I don't care what it is. That's just for me personally. I like that. Could you recommend a soap that you guys potentially deal with, or should I just stop by and bond with them? Because
Sure, you can. You can check them out. But another company we work with that's called Green Housewives. That's based right in Porter. All two moms started the company like 4 or 5 years ago, I think. They do a soap, couple different soaps just for face that are a little bit. One of them is for acne, so I wouldn't suggest that. Another one is they just do a face bar. They also have some really nice, like really mild face scrubs that they make with like a coconut oil base.
See, I like that.
And
Yeah.
and I mean, the coconut oil is always a good alternative
Sure
to
is.
anything. But then Birgit also makes a soap for face. She does one that's it's got seaweed in it, and that she buys already dried, and then incorporates that into the soap. And that one is very, very good for drier skin. She also has a really good green tea, like a French clay, like an acne bar too, for people with oily skin. I have people who swear by that one. So there's some
That would be a
options.
great
Those are
little
options for
stocking
sure.
stuffer for a teen. You
Oh,
know, when
yeah.
you're
Can I
Can I tell
talking
you
like
teens,
Yes.
high
With
school,
changing,
and the collegiate, because I could tell you,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
my daughter Devin, who's going away to college, and her group, I hear the young ladies talking about stuff, and they're always talking about stuff like that
Mm-hmm. course
as
they
they all
are,
work.
yeah.
Oh, heck
but,
yeah.
But acne is really tough, and
Yeah.
for a lot of the young kids out there, sometimes it's a deal breaker, and it's a very unique thing because, as we all know, kids can be a little, I'll use the word unique,
Oh, yeah.
to
Oh,
each
absolutely.
other. So if there is a product out there, man, I'm all about,
Yeah,
forcing
especially
the
if it's a
kids to
more
go to that.
natural type,
Natural.
natural
Absolutely.
type.
Right.
I'm
Absolutely.
curious. I'm always
Great job.
curious to know this whenever we talk to anybody. What was the inspiration, like behind the idea of the store? How long did you kind of develop that before you jumped to
Well, we
open it?
we at our house, I don't know. I've probably eaten, and it was hard to eat locally. Like that wasn't really an
Yeah.
option 15 years ago or whatever, 20 years ago. But I mean, since I was in college, this is a really long time ago. I've tried to eat as organically as I can.
Yeah.
Okay. So nobody's perfect,
Certainly.
but so then and then like in the 80s or late 90s, I guess, or early 2000s. I mean, I lived in Europe for a couple of years, and the diet there is much different, and it's much healthier. There are a lot more options in terms of places that you can eat where you're not preparing the food, but where you're getting things that are grown in that area,
Yeah.
which is really cool. And it means a lot in terms of freshness for produce, especially, but also for like meats. Which is another huge thing. And so I came back from there like 15 years ago, and definitely was, like watching a really small, like burgeoning local food movement. Like that was right around, Chesterton started having their European market,
Yes,
like
yes.
in like whatever, 2002 or 3, something like that. And I was really excited about it because I was
Of
like,
course.
oh, we're going to go and there's going to be all this great produce and whatever. And I mean, I have no issue with the European market. I wish
Right.
it's a very successful market in town. It's not what I had hoped it was going to be.
Right.
Just because of that, it was just like, well, they do have a couple people who sell actual local produce. They also have a lot of people who go and buy a lot of produce. And this is, they'll come and make it look like they've grown it. But we have to understand, and this was, again, some of my reservation with the market, is that you can't have tomatoes and claim that they're locally grown on the first Saturday in May.
Oh,
of the
certainly.
month.
Right.
Certainly.
And that's fine. If you go and buy them there, you're still getting something that's fresher.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Agree.
And that's lovely. And it's nice because you are supporting a local business person, but it's not really supporting a local food movement, which happens to also be a seasonal food movement. So there's like two levels of education that come from that. And so this is where I was at. I was like watching this and I was like, there's gotta be other farmers around here. And then, a few years later, I really, really decided that we were going to clean up the way we ate meat, because the more you read about it, the more you don't want to
Scarier
know.
it gets.
Isn't it crazy?
It certainly is.
It's and depending on, some people are like, whatever, they peace with that, they move on, and that's fine with them.
Yeah. It's hard.
I have members of my family who've been vegetarians for almost 40 years. And so they've made their peace with meat. And a lot of it was the way that was raised in the process.
Certainly.
Some of it was how they felt after they had given up meat, which is also totally understandable. So I've gone on and off with that in my life too. There's times where I have definitely not eaten meat for extended periods of time, and now I do, because I have a way to get it that I'm okay with how that meat was produced. So my husband and I decided we invested in some beef that was all grass fed for the first time. And we were both really like impressed and like, okay, this is the best beef we've ever had.
Can I ask you, when you say it was the best, is it the taste? Is it the way it cooks up? Can you truly, because people are going to ask,
yes.
Can you really tell the taste?
I mean, okay, we've done it. Yes. Okay. Like ground beef.
Yeah.
When we first did buy this, we were up in Wisconsin where my family has lived for forever. There's this farm, Black Angus grass fed beef. And I was like, hey, this is a thing. Let's, look we can get it right from the farmer. Let's get it, and, we did. So we went home and we're both, when we were foodies, we bonded on our first time together, my husband and I, talking about rendering fat out of beef and chicken to make broth and weird stuff. So we of course we're gonna have it.
How romantic. No.
I was gonna say, how cute.
Yeah, right. He says
that's the guy when seriously.
He wooed me over animal fat.
Fat talk. I love it.
So lovely. It was very charming. It was a lovely experience. So anyway, of course we cook up regular, and of course we cook up because we're going to try it. We're going to make two burgers out of each to try it. And totally, we're cooking it, and he's like pan fried them. He's like, there's a total difference in what happens to the fat when it's cooking. There's a total difference in the appearance of the meat, but then the smell is totally different. It's like a real smell. And then it's just a very meaty, like beefy, great taste. It's totally discernible. And same with the steak, and same with brisket, same with, anything we tried. And it was interesting too, because you do get variations, like some other guys that we've purchased meat from subsequently, which we actually even like better, to cut the same cut of beef, but maybe it's from a slightly different place on the cow. Doesn't cook the same. Maybe it's not as tender. It's because you're talking about meat that's coming from exclusively one animal. This is what started me. Fast Food Nation was a book I read right after my first daughter was born. So a long time ago. I suggest reading it. But what got to me is that you learn that when you get a cheeseburger from any of those places, you're getting meat from like 1,000 cows.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ugh.
All smushed together.
I'm just, you're making me hungry on one side, but then you're like,
but don't,
watch the other side, right? Exactly.
So boom, that was it. Like, okay, so now I don't eat McDonald's, I don't eat Burger King, I don't eat Wendy's, I don't eat any of those things, and it's been that way for a long time. Just because of that, I was like, I can't even get behind that. That's horrible. In addition to all the other things. So here you're getting meat from one animal,
right?
Your ground beef is coming from that cow. Completely different experience, and it's a far better experience. But then also, now I buy my meat for my store, my family, from another man that Jim works with. And this is like his retirement business. It's like a longhorn cattle that he has developed. And then he has grown his own grass that he likes for them to eat, that gives his meat the best taste.
That's amazing.
Wow.
The planning behind all that, honestly.
I know, this is like awesome.
And you get an amazing product. And so that's where we get that's right now where
So
our
it's
beef
really,
comes
I
from.
mean, your experience then in Europe really is what sparked that inspiration came from your experience there and
Yes.
wanting to have that here, especially with your kids.
Oh,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? Once kids come, that's when those things really pop in your head and you think, ooh,
That's right.
It's harder to
Well, you want to
turn your head the other way when you know it's not.
You want to do the whatever is the best.
You want to try your
Or
best.
at least try your best.
Yeah,
That's right.
absolutely.
I have 3 questions from
Please.
listeners. These are great. First off, someone said, I love this. This is a great topic. And yes, you're making me hungry. I hear the term organic used all the time. What does that mean? Can you kind of elaborate on that if you don't mind?
Sure. And it's really a ubiquitous term, to be honest with you. On that scale, on the food side of what we deal with, I would say that there's maybe two growers, produce or otherwise, that we have that would be considered organic, that can call themselves that, because you have to have an FDA certification. They come and test your soil. You have to be without any sort of chemical, pesticides, weed inhibitors, you name it, for a certain amount of years.
Wow.
To do that. So there's a farm in New Carlisle that we buy from Rainfield that actually is an organic farm, and then a farm in South Haven, of all places, in Southern Portage. There's actually 2 awesome farms down there, but one of them is also mostly certified organic,
Wow.
Living Earth Farms. It's interesting. In the government spectrum of organic, they allow a lot. What we deal with and what I buy down here, they're all farms that are, the furthest away is North Judson. I would describe their growing method as a little bit superior to what would be considered organic. They're growing in a way that they refer to as biodiverse, which means
I've never heard that.
which means that they are growing they're growing complementary crops, and they're growing crops that enhance the soil so that they're not constantly having to enhance it with chemicals.
Right, they're not depleting the soils.
Right.
Yeah.
But then they're also, when they're adding to the soil, they're adding composted material and natural material back to the soil, which enhances it for subsequent crops. So, and they understand about how to rotate them accordingly, so that you really end up with really, good harvest, but good soil. And
Yeah.
so, we're not talking about growing soybeans. I mean, they're growing, like Fairstream Farms in North Judson grows a lot of really cool specialty crops. He loves Japanese crops. He can grow carrots like nobody's business.
Really?
Other farms don't grow those as well. And so, but they are all growing in a biodiverse way.
How neat.
So it's not necessarily what the government would not say. They could, some of them are there long enough that they probably could be certified organic. It's the money that it costs to do that.
Wow.
That said, in the grocery store when you're shopping, there's a lot of things that everyone should be buying that are certified organic, only because it's going to be helpful to the environment overall.
Right,
Regardless of whether it's grown locally or not, you're always better to pick it if you can. And a lot of times now at the stores, people have in their minds that organic is a lot more expensive, and it's really not. They really have become competitive because it's getting to be so widespread.
Yeah.
So that's there's a couple differences, but yes, everything we sell, I think it's grown like you would grow it in your own garden. So unless you're out there like spraying all the time, our stuff comes in and it's
Just like that.
People are asking about, you mentioned a book you read 15 years ago.
geez.
There's a double whammy. Do you remember the name of the book?
yeah, it's Fast Food Nation is what it's called. Fast Food Nation. I can't remember the author, to be honest with you.
No problem. Google that one.
Yeah, it's there. It's
Awesome.
easy to find. And that's it doesn't really refer to any, a lot of people are reading books right now that refer to specific diets,
of
getting
course.
rid of gluten, getting rid of wheat, and
Yeah.
things like that. This isn't a diet book. This was a book about the way capitalism has changed the food industry. And so it's a little different. It's a very political book, but it's essential because it really helps you understand the dangers of shopping in really big stores and the dangers of eating at places like Applebee's. And it's not only the food, but it's everything that comes behind the food. And
Eric
so
Schossler
thank you. Yes.
Schlosser.
Yes.
Thank you.
Eric
Thank you,
Schlosser is the
ladies.
guy who wrote
Yep,
it. Yes.
yep.
Thank you for the Google.
And I'm just
So-
going to throw this out there. All opinions on Younger Life Live do not reflect those of management, Gerard
Absolutely.
Media LLC, anybody in the area, our partners. But
Our own.
it's a great show. It's our own perspective.
Well, I've discussed
We
many
talk about
different
this all the time.
documentaries that I've seen. And it
Absolutely.
doesn't mean that I necessarily buy into every
Sure.
thought or always agree with everything on. I watch a lot of food documentaries because it is fascinating to me, and I feel like we're always learning more.
That's right.
And sometimes that can be frustrating. We had a vegan chef on once. I told Rick, I literally went home depressed. No, it's like, I'm poisoning myself and my kids every day. That's basically what I felt like. Oh, what are my options? Nothing.
That's all
I
have.
Water.
That's the problem.
This is all I've got.
It was very frustrating.
Right.
It was
very frustrating.
It was very discouraging, I should say. So, I watched a lot more, read a lot of things, and I find myself, there's definitely a good balance. Even if I can't change everything, to make a better choice here and there still feels good, and it's a step in the right direction.
That's right.
Agree.
That's absolutely right.
So how long did you and your husband, after doing this first little meat test, did you
The
really
fat
decide
talk?
the fat talk?
Yes.
How long did you decide, okay, we're going to do this?
I was working. I was working for another company, totally unrelated, not a food company, nothing related to food whatsoever. And then I got pregnant with my 3-year-old, and so I was like, okay, I'm not going to go back to a 9-to-5 job once I have her. I was fortunate enough to be able to do that with my older daughter too, and so, okay. I have the baby. Things are great, and that's when I really started thinking, and that's when I started seeing a lot more. I was learning a lot more about a lot more local farms, just through it was through Facebook actually.
Oh wow! Oh, okay.
And mutual friends who were like, "Hey, I know this farmer. Hey, this guy sells at this," because there was a farmers market in Valparaiso. There's been one in New Buffalo for some time. And so that's where it all started to come together. And I was like, and I would see on Facebook again, social media, reading. I had to go here to do this, and I had to go here to get this, and I had to go here, and what day is that place open again, and when does he sell that? And I was like, wouldn't it be cool if there could just be a place where everybody could just come and it was here?
Yeah.
They could still go and see the farmer at the farm market that he works at, but that's one day a week,
Right.
one morning a week, one
Mm-hmm.
afternoon a week. And so that's kind of how it started. And then, of course, as soon as I start reaching out to people, Fairstream Farms was one of the first farms because I'd been following him for a while, and he's awesome at what he does, and has been doing it for years, 20 years. He's like, yeah, just let me know. Okay. Then I reach out to Greenhouse Five's bath products, and I was like, you guys are awesome. I've been buying your stuff since you started. Let us know when. Okay, so I got to get my stuff together here. I need to better figure out how to get this going, and that's how it started. And it just snowballed. As soon as you start looking, just like if you're shopping for a house, the minute you start looking for a space to rent, you're like, oh, okay,
here we go. You jump in.
Sure.
Yeah, you kind
Yes,
of
we
jump
have a store now. Okay, here we go. So that was that.
That's fantastic. What was the response and reaction from your your closest? Obviously, your husband was totally on board, but your closest family and friends, were they all
Did they
pretty
think
much
you
all
were
about it, or
crazy,
were
or were
they
they-
thinking?
No, I think that they figured that was going to be an eventuality for me at some point.
Really?
Awesome.
I like retail. I've always worked it one way or the other. So it's like I'm a people person.
Oh,
I'm not, I can sit and chat with people all day. But
Does it sound familiar to you and
I
I?
know, we like that
I
too.
like this room. Let's do this.
Right?
Yeah.
so like I think that they knew that, and then it was just a matter of what, and I kept saying for years, oh, if I had a store, blah blah blah. But then I'm tied to it, and it wasn't like I was like married to the idea enough to really think,
Certainly.
okay, I could do this 6 days a week, 7 days.
That's a
I mean,
lot.
7 days a week.
Absolutely.
Really. So
it's a big commitment.
Yeah, and so then this all sort of fell together, and like the food thing, it really was getting to me. There's just so many levels of why food is so important, and so that was it, and the food aspect of it was the beginning, and then like the general store part I had in my mind that I think that would be good because there are so many producers of that kind of art of goods,
Absolutely.
of usable comestible goods in this area who aren't being recognized. So, or who want to be recognized more. And so it was nice to be able to have that. And I wouldn't have, except that the space was really big that I rented. And I was like, well, that's good because like, we have all kinds of different classes. We have like painting parties.
I think that's really cool, the class aspect. I wasn't even aware of that. I think that is a fabulous option too.
Is it educational on the products and services
Or
and
learning
stuff?
how to do these things like
Right,
the soap
'cause that's
thing.
what a lot of
It's
people
so diverse to
wanna
say,
know,
it might
right.
be a food thing, or it might be soap, it might be.
We have like depending on the time of year or whatever, we've had kids baking classes, which they
That's
really
awesome.
like.
That's,
We're gonna probably start doing some when school starts again, like some kids
Can
cooking.
you, can you do
classes.
some adult cooking classes? Because we brought that up.
Yeah.
And I said to my wife as we go through the years, that's something I really think would be cool for couples.
just
Right.
fun.
To
It's
do-
fun date night.
Fun date
Right.
night and just bonding and just learning new things.
Well,
so let's do it.
Yes, and we've tried a few times. It's hard sometimes with grown-ups for whatever reason. It is way harder to get them to commit their time than it is to get them to commit their kids' time. So that's
true.
what I've learned.
Good point.
Yes, I mean we've tried several times to do, and I've had very limited, like really really great response. Like, yay, awesome idea, that's terrific. Oh man, my schedule is blah, 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 and so it's
Won't
like
allow.
it's getting 10 people or 15 people who have that exact day and evening open.
Yeah.
That's been the challenge.
Okay,
in
can
terms
I?
of
It
growing
certainly
schedule.
is.
Here's a challenge
Yeah.
from Younger Life, and I'm going to throw you into the mix, either with or without Jeremy, with or without Norma. So I know you and I will go. We would love with our crew.
Let's do it.
We've had chefs in here literally doing full blown
Right here,
hours,
making food and
2-part
stuff.
series shows, making stuff. We could do it here. Come to you both because
That'd be awesome.
I
Let's
would
Well, we
love
could just
to.
tape it even if we go there. That'd be cool.
Right.
Right.
Show the store.
Let's do
and
it.
stuff.
Oh yeah. Plus, then we could get Becky involved, who's that's just
job.
one of our employees, just as passionate about food in
That's
her
so
own
neat.
way. She's just yes. So that'd be awesome. Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
since opening your doors, you said 2 years ago now,
Yeah.
what is the community's response been?
You know what? It's been really good, but it's been, I think, it's a slower building process than
slow
I ever
process.
would have thought it would be. Only because, I think it's an awesome idea, and so so trying to get that out to other people and for them to understand. A lot of it is trying to understand how to cook.
Yeah.
When you've never really cooked before.
Right?
I-
So much. I mean, you're talking, there are seeds there. You know what I mean? So, I mean,
Yeah.
you could get there's a little bit of everything, which is really cool.
But there's
It's
and
just
unique
the-
and there's unique vegetables. There's ones that maybe we're not buying all the time at the grocery store because that's what's in season. And that's part of what we're trying to teach in terms of classes is, hey, it's springtime green season. So like there's Swiss chard, there's all kinds of different kales. There's all kinds of different greens from like beets and turnips. This is stuff we should be eating
Yeah.
as opposed to, just making broccoli every night. There's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
But that variety is so cool. And
It's so important. It
well,
really
it-
is.
it
The
is.
more we learn.
It is, and it's stuff you can grow yourself. That's so easy. Even if and if you don't have success with it, that's why I'm there.
Yeah.
So it's like it's learning how to use those things and incorporate them into your diet. But I mean, I've had people who have never cooked with chicken never made a whole chicken.
Yeah.
And so it's like, let's talk about how to do that. And everybody who
I'm
works there.
telling you, we need
It's
to
cool,
have
isn't it?
Eve on like weekly.
It's
we could
cool.
do like food. Can I throw this out there? Because I don't know if you go through this yourself, but I could just say for me personally, I love eating different salads and vegetables
Yeah.
and different things, and especially as we incorporated, we always have. But I think sometimes it's the art of
Yes.
knowing how to. It's not that I don't have a problem. Like when you said, "Oh, people should eat A, B, and C," and there's all these different kales.
Yeah.
Awesome, but can you teach me?
Yeah.
Right.
I
Well,
mean,
it's just
that's what I'm
like
saying.
just like you had never
That's
had
really
the
hard.
squash and zucchini on the grill.
Oh my gosh,
We have.
we had
It was-
that
Right.
out
it's
here.
delicious.
Oh, man.
I eat all
love
the
it.
time.
I mean, I literally
So
could
do
eat.
I.
Yeah, I love it.
Yellow squash,
Unfortunately,
zucchini.
most of
Oh.
my family does not. But I say, "Oh, I'll eat your share." I don't
Or
care
this
at all.
is for me
It's-
anyway.
It's
Little
mine.
olive
That's
oil.
right.
Yes.
Oh,
I do love it.
Grilly vegetables.
I
is the
think
way
it's a
to go.
good point though. You brought up the seasonal kind of
Yeah.
aspect.
Oh,
So I'm
yeah.
curious to know how you, what can people expect to be in, at your store in maybe the fall and winter months when there's not actually the produce
Right,
out there,
right. Well,
or the
what's-
same types of
Sure,
produce.
sure.
I should
What's
say.
interesting, so yeah, it's different. Of course it's seasonal. What's interesting is most of the farmers that I work with, like I said, Fairstream Farms, there's a guy in Westville, Native Roots, who runs a great new farmers market in Chesterton. There's Living Earth Farms, as I mentioned, and then a Blue Sky Day also does it. Everybody's got a covered house that they can grow
Oh,
in,
okay.
and we'll find that we can get produce like carrots, like turnips, like beets, like kales. Lettuces grow great in the fall, so until November, depending on the year. So
Yeah.
then that's all still local. Another thing that we do is there's a couple of vertical gardens, indoor farms that do fresh herbs, mostly microgreens, lettuces. So Grow Local is one of them. They produce year round. And
Oh,
so
okay.
there'll be fresh lettuce. So you don't have necessarily the abundance of
Right.
local stuff, but you do have the ability to come and make yourself a salad or take home greens that you can take home for dinner. I also work with a company that's based out of Mishawaka called B&B Organic Express, and they are a produce wholesaler. They have an online page that you can order from weekly. Any person can order from weekly. And they offer a whole pantheon of organic produce.
Okay.
So just like a grocery store.
Yeah.
And they have avocados year round.
I'm an
They'll
avocado.
have
I was
like
going to ask about fruits. I
Yeah,
was curious, like in the winter months.
they have fruits year round. I mean, our fruit season, and that's what's really crazy is our Midwest fruit season. Our fruit season here is so unbelievably short for every
Right.
crop. So it's like I have a flush of strawberries for literally like 6 days.
Yeah.
And then, whoop, and then I'll have like blueberries. And
Yeah.
So it goes really fast. But B&B, I mean, anybody can order from them.
Mm-hmm.
There's delivery points all over the place in health food stores, in my
That's
store.
nice.
And on their page, yes, it's not always all the same fruits,
Mm-hmm.
but you can always get potatoes. You can always get sweet potatoes. You can always get apples.
Yeah.
You can always get.
So even if those were shipped, they may not be local, but they're still grown or they're still stamped that organic kind
That's
of.
right.
At least it's a better option, if
a-
nothing else.
That's right, and it's really reasonably priced. So you're not getting like sometimes when it's out of season at the grocery store, it's super expensive.
Certainly.
Not quite so much with that. So it's a nice way to balance it out. And then of course, I mean, I use her products too in the prepared foods that we make, and then I'll buy extras of stuff that I think is going to that people would want to buy, and sell it to them really for not that much more than I'm buying it for,
Certainly.
because I want them to buy it.
Yeah.
But then at least it rounds out sort of what we have, and we don't try and bill it as, hey, this is all local, and we pulled the stickers off. It's we got this. It's got organic stickers on
Yeah.
it. This is where it came from. But if you it
Can I
helps
ask a
to round it
question
out.
on I'm curious because I'm a salad kid. I always have been.
Mm-hmm.
Organic salad and I'll just say salad to be politically correct. Difference in taste?
Well,
I love salad.
yeah, I guess you know what I have to be honest with you. I haven't had beyond I guess what I would have eaten in a restaurant, which I could say yes, there's a huge taste difference. I probably haven't had non-organic salad greens it's been a really long time.
Okay.
15 years. Probably.
Like the bag salad kind of thing.
That's
You
what I'm
mean?
saying.
Is that what you're
I'm
thinking?
that's what I get, bag salads, because
Right.
when I was
It's
younger,
easy. We do
it
the
is.
same a lot. I do the same for a
you
big
can take
dinner.
a head and
Yeah.
do it up, but then if you don't eat it, in my opinion, and you use a knife, it's going to be discolored and withered
Right.
soon,
That's
like right
right.
away.
Oh, they do. They do.
So I
Yeah.
like to eat my salad. If I say, okay, I'm going to eat half the bag
Right. Then I use it up and it
in a
stays
couple
fresh.
days.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When we buy stuff, I mean, and I won't lie, like there's times where we'll buy that, especially like when we want spinach, although I just found a spinach farmer.
You did.
Yes, very exciting. And right in 10 minutes from Chesterton. Crazy.
Oh.
We'll buy a box of spinach,
Yeah.
Sure.
but we buy the box that's organic.
Yes.
So,
yeah.
so I guess I don't know that I couldn't tell you.
No,
but
that's
I
cool.
would imagine, if it's fresh, it's usually better. The greens that we sell, the salad greens we sell, are exceptional only because they're varieties maybe that some people haven't tried, or maybe that you haven't had for a long time. But my farmers are awesome. They'll do both heads. If you're a person who wants that, like a head of romaine you need for a Caesar salad or whatever. A head of really beautiful red lettuce, but then they also grow mixed greens and bag them. And so we sell just bags of mixed salad greens, just like you'd buy, but there's some interesting varieties in there. And tender and sweet, really good.
I'm telling you, field trip.
Yeah, I
YoungerLife
know.
Live host
We're
Mary
in
Anthony.
between we're in between lettuce harvests, so please.
No problem.
I don't want anybody to get really excited.
I
about
would-
like a
I
huge
would
No,
lettuce
too
love
much
to
excitement.
visit.
It's been too hot
It's just
for
cool.
lettuce.
I got the chance to go there and check it out. It's a
Yeah.
really cool store. And so I bought a few different things. We did buy strawberries, but like you said, and you know what? He was very upfront. Those are not local right now. And I said, oh yeah, I was kind of surprised because strawberry season's over.
Yeah.
But they were amazing berries, by the way.
They're yummy.
Was that one that you had gotten from that?
From B&B. Yep.
Very
They
cool.
were, honestly, I told the kids, okay, I'm going to cut these up, but I'm going to save a handful to take to work. They had them gone in like a minute. There was honestly,
Ate them up.
they were delicious. I
Like,
rinsed them.
could you taste like it was?
Well, they
today?
taste okay. My grandparents had an orchard when I was
Sure.
young. They taste like orchard strawberries.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
Nice.
they
Real
taste
strawberries.
like you're picking them. They were
Sure.
delicious and very. I think a lot of times. I buy grocery store strawberries all the time. I do. It's easy, but sometimes they don't have. They lack flavor.
Yes.
Occasionally, you
Definitely.
might get a little bit of the flavor, but they taste waterlogged, for lack of a better explanation, I guess. These were delicious, and my kids they were gone in a second.
That's
I
awesome.
said,
And you're like, didn't you?
Didn't
you
I
didn't say,
ask
mommy,
you?
just two?
I grabbed two when I was cutting them, like two. That was it. But they did. They were delicious, and I bought a stone ground bread that was from there, and I made a sandwich on it. And I normally do not eat wheat bread. I'm just gonna say a lot of times I'll buy all grain or something. But you did have a more natural white bread too. And I thought I debated, but I thought I'm going to try for the real healthy bread. It was delicious.
Good.
It was delicious. I had a sandwich on it.
It makes good grilled cheeses too. It's
Oh, I
really
bet.
Oh my gosh, that's all I have to say. Grilled cheese in my
That's half my kids'
Oh.
favorite.
Oh,
Love.
shoot. I think all of my kids,
You
that's
know,
their favorite.
that's especially, my kids being different ages. We're in a lot of sports, and so we're sometimes
cheese
dinner
is a
late.
common thing, at least once a week.
I'll say while you're getting ready for bed, I pull out the griddle and I can make a slew of grilled cheeses at once,
Oh,
which
yeah.
is really nice and easy, and they love it. And that's a great like
Okay,
late
let's
dinner
go around
kind
the
of
room.
thing.
Comfort food of
Eve's
all time.
first, ladies first on both of you guys. Cheeses that you use on your grilled cheese with you and your children.
Man. Usually
I'm just curious.
Usually it's just it depends. My oldest daughter probably is like a Colby, like a softer cheese kid. My other girls like the white. We sell a white cheddar at my store. That's amazing. So that's what the other girls get on.
I'll eat any cheese pretty much. Honestly,
Yes.
my kids they love
too.
Colby Jack, cheddar. Cheddars are my favorite. Pretty much any
Throw
cheddar.
a little jalapeno cheese there.
I'll just I love
Anything,
them.
little bacon, fresh
Little
tomato.
bacon, little bit of tomato and onion. That's my kind of grilled cheese.
Oh,
right
heck
there.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
But so
It's almost like a panini grilled cheese.
Yes.
it is.
But
It's
with on the
delicious.
stove.
So
Oh, yeah.
I bought
Oh, yeah.
those, and then I bought some pita chips that they actually make them in the store.
Oh, I did not
and
know that.
so they were so good. I had to tell the kids, you can each only have a couple because I'm going to take them to work so we can at least sample them. And I bought some.
You brought 'em today?
I did, and I brought some variety of green beans. We love green beans. We eat garden beans. We grow a garden. I didn't this year, shame, but typically we do. The kids love it.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
grow just a very small garden,
Yes.
but beans are an absolute because they love them. So we eat a lot of green beans, but we only grow like standard green beans. You
Sure.
know what I mean? Like normal bush beans, and then,
Right.
they look so weird. They were called dragon tongue, and it was one of the varieties. And so my kids were so excited to try them. But they were like, "Ooh, they look so weird." I said, "Well, just taste them." I had to say, "Do not touch those last couple beans. I'm taking them to work because they loved them."
Wow.
They were very good.
They're
And-
very
great.
sweet and very tender. And I had never had them before till this year either. They're
yeah,
so
and they're
good.
very good. Even the dark, there's a couple different varieties. I'll pull them out and you can tell us. And then there were these little balls. We've made those energy balls
Yes,
with
we
Sukli Beck
have. I love
numerous
those.
times. They're delicious. These are another healthy snack option. There's different flavors, so I brought those and thought we could cut them up so we could all try them. And
Really?
I didn't even open
Are you going to
those
let
up.
Jackie Beisel have some? Our
Of
executive
course.
producer today. Look at her. She's smiling. Jackie!
Of
in the house.
course. So I brought those. I'll go ahead and get them out, but I want you to tell us again, Eve, for sure. I'm so glad you came today. Could you tell everybody again your phone number, where you're located
For
at?
sure.
We want to encourage people, go check it out.
I would.
There was so much. It was so fun to walk around and look, and there's so many different things to look at. It's
We
just
are going on a
different.
field trip, you realize.
Well, and I love the fact that it is constantly an evolving and changing
Definitely.
concept because, your ideas are the same, but because it is a seasonal thing and because you are getting new suppliers from local, our
Mm-hmm.
own communities, which is nice, just right here in LaPorte and Porter counties. It's just
Definitely.
it's fantastic. I think that's really neat. So
Awesome.
I'm going to get out the snacks.
While
Go
you're
for
getting
it.
snacks, Eve's going to give us her phone number, her address, and her Facebook address as well.
You
Eve.
got it. We're Loaf, which is local, organic, affordable foods. We're at 401 North Calumet Road in Chesterton, and 219-628-6106 is the best way to reach us. We're on Facebook, which is loafchesterton.com. So-
Okay, I have to ask this, and this is a weird, Ricky, personal question. If you don't mind answering, what were you doing in Europe? That's some place
Such
on
a
the
cool, I
Ricky
know.
bucket list. And Norm and our family, we would love to go to Europe. We just don't know where in our lives we're gonna put it. We're gonna go. What were you doing? Were you studying there?
I did. I
Nice.
lived there a couple times. I did when I was in college. Live in Spain for
Awesome.
for a semester in Madrid, and then when I got married to my oldest daughter's dad, he and I his company transferred both of us to work in Antwerp, Belgium. So we lived
Oh
in
my
Belgium.
gosh, really?
how cool.
But I'd been there a number of times. My family just likes to travel, so I've been in most of the European countries, one way or the other.
How neat.
Is there one
Absolutely.
place in Europe that you would say it's like my personal bucket list includes Italy and London? I'd like to.
Sure.
I hear Germany's cool. I just don't know.
Man.
What would you say? Just throw it out.
I couldn't keep it to one. I would say that everybody should see Paris. And I've gone through a period of time in my life where I've been there so many times. This sounds really spoiled. I've been there so many times I don't want to go back, and that was not an appropriate thing to say because I've been back, and I was like, that was really dumb. Paris is awesome. So Paris
Very
definitely is super cool place to go, and the whole country of Switzerland is
Switzerland.
probably one of the most beautiful places that you'll ever go to. It's just amazing.
All right, so
Well,
now
how
I've
cool.
added Paris
Okay.
and Switzerland to the Ricky bucket
Add
list.
it to your
right.
list. That's right.
That's
Okay,
great.
so first
Thank
of
you.
all, Eve, I want you to tell us. I don't know if you can see.
We
Yes.
got.
Okay.
Oh, let me. I'll switch
Okay.
the camera perspective. Hang on.
First of all,
There
Okay.
you go,
can you
right
see
there.
these pita chips? I could
Okay.
smell them as soon as I opened the bag too. They're so good. And then see this crazy.
Oh
looking
my
bean?
gosh! Yeah.
That's the dragon tongue bean.
Yep.
And then what are the dark beans?
Those are just the purple. Those are purples that you
Just
can
a-
grow, and you can
Just a variation of a regular green bean.
It's an heirloom purple, and when they cook up, they actually fade a little bit, so they don't stay purple, which is interesting. And there isn't much difference in taste. Some people will say
taste that dragon tongue bean.
some people will say that they're a little more.
Or at least
God.
break it in half so
What?
Jackie can try. That's the.
That's the speckled
like
one.
the spotty one.
Okay. In half.
Sure, if you
Yeah,
want.
well that way Jackie can try it. I thought my kids left two. They left one.
It's like a green bean.
It's a green
Don't
bean.
be afraid.
But I mean, if you like green
Wow.
beans, we love green beans.
But they
so.
cook up even better
Take a
than they
couple more
taste raw,
pita
and they
chips. They're
taste really good
delicious,
raw.
aren't they?
Can I just tell you? Wow, those. Wait, have Jackie try.
Can
those
you
pita.
tell us what's on the pita chips?
Well,
I
it's
really
kind of-
like this.
Those aren't those yummy? So those, let's see, these are Kelly's. Hold on.
They're so good.
These are her garlic black pepper ones. And sure. They're all I'll take the wax bean because they're my favorite. These are all whoops, there goes my
You have to give her another pita chip.
Oh, here, take another one.
No, thank you. So the pitas themselves, they come to us as a fresh bread. We don't make the pitas ourselves. I am not that talented, but there's a bakery in Chicago called Sanibel that makes these, and they come to me warm.
Oh my goodness.
But they're all real ingredients, so there's no preservatives in there. We keep them in the freezer. So they send us pita pockets, and we do other things with those. These are their big flat like dipping breads.
Oh my gosh,
And so
this is
we
good.
we cut them up, and we do all kinds of different spice treatments to them, and then we bake them. That's the best way. One of my Kelly, who works with us, she is the pita
Shout
master.
out to Kelly. 'Cause
She
I'm
is
telling
the
you
pita
what,
chip master.
My kids, I'm saying, nope, I would put a handful out on a napkin. Can we have more? No. After work tomorrow, you can finish.
Eat 'em up.
Okay, so these
Those were awesome. And I
Delicious.
could really taste.
these are called Harvest Superfood Balls.
Okay.
That's it drew my attention because we have
We've had
a
many
good friend of
energy
the
balls,
show
yeah.
named Sue Klebeck who actually is a heart patient.
Yeah.
She coded and died, and they revived her, so she completely changed her diet, heart healthy stuff, and
Cool.
she makes
woman.
these little
Awesome.
I bet.
energy snack balls.
Yeah.
They're phenomenal. And
Yeah.
so we made them on the show. I make them for my kids. I call them cookie dough because they look like cookie dough. I call them cookie balls.
You're a smart
and my
woman.
Kids
Yes,
love
that's
them.
what I'd say.
Smart woman.
They love them, and it's all good for them.
Right.
It's all very good. So these really drew my attention because it's 4 different flavors. So there's a coconut dark chocolate almond, a peanut butter banana, which these all sounded so good. So I thought I'd cut them into 4 so we could all have a
Okay.
piece
Yeah,
of
they're
each one of
really
them.
those are great
dark
flavors.
chocolate peanut, dark chocolate espresso. So
I think we're going to go into an extended version of Younger Life Live, but that's okay. Can you guys hang? Everybody
For a
hang?
couple
Okay,
minutes
good.
While we try the food, sure.
Okay, can you tell us what the first one is? I'm sorry, I'm touching
Oh,
it.
no, I don't care. You want me to? Can I eat this?
Yeah, they're for
Okay.
all of us to try. Here.
Which one is this one?
Can I from? Oh, here you want me to eat it?
Here.
Okay.
Here's the napkins, too. I'm sorry.
The peanut butter.
Oh my gosh.
It looks amazing.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, so, and I know obviously if we have
Thank
to,
you, darling.
if we have to go on out, we'll
Don't worry about it.
We'll go
I
on
have
out
to say this for the
snacking.
radio
These are
side of
doing
the
it
Younger
right.
Life Live production here. You're listening to AM 1420
almost
WIMS
tastes like a
Michigan
no-bake
City,
cookie. That's
a Gerard
fantastic.
Media Company, streaming live at
She
WIMSradio.com.
uses a lot of
You're
dates.
also inside our
Has
Younger
her
Life
date- a lot of
production,
dates in her
right here, of
date.
course, with
light
the folks here. Thanks, everybody.
Is this
Jackie
the peanut
Beisel.
butter banana?
I feel like I had the.
Oh
I
my
had a
gosh.
I had the dark chocolate peanut butter. Was that one of the flavors? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which one is this one?
And the peanut, yeah, then the banana's the lighter one.
Okay.
Wow.
I know. She does it. Her product is amazing. I mean, you can find Harvest Superfood balls in Whole Foods too.
What is-
she's has
What
a
is
great
this?
product.
This one we think is the peanut butter banana.
It is. It so is. Jackie, what do you think of everything so far?
It's really good. I like the green beans a lot.
So do I.
They're delicious, aren't they?
Yeah.
Again, especially we eat a lot of green beans, so I didn't think to ask you that before I said eat it. We're not a fan of green beans.
Well, he would have started to cry.
No, I would have done that.
Oh,
Well-
that is fantastic.
Can we continue
Peanut
this on
butter
a
banana.
part 2 someday soon? All
I
right.
think we should.
You
Absolutely.
are absolutely awesome. Your
Thank you
pictures
so
up on
much,
Facebook
Eve,
for
and
having
Twitter.
me so
Big round of
much.
applause for Eve, everybody.
Thank you.
Check the
Thank
bike
you.
show.
Check out Loaf.
All right. I'm Rick Federici.
I'm Mary Anthony. Have a
Bye,
good weekend.
guys.
AM 14.